Greetings, and Happy New Year as we welcome the new year. I hope we're all in good spirits and moving ahead on some positive note. I hope we were able to recognize our our failures and also our successes in 2023, and we're now on the path to putting in corrections to those that need to be corrected and throw out those that are not of any worth. Because at times we get caught up into, as my grandma would say, you know, building castles in the skies. And before the start of it, we already knew that these were not going to be realized. So as we recommit ourselves each year to our failures, we are only going to be receiving failures in return. So let's be thoughtful. Let's be honest with ourselves. Let's know our abilities. Let's know our capabilities. And whatever our plans are, they should and must be in line with what we're capable of doing. Because at times we allow ego to override reality. And with ego overriding reality, the results, of course, are failures. And that's a simple case. In the worst case, we have dishonesty, facades that are placed there to showcase something that is not realizable and cannot be realized. So let's start putting things in perspective. Let's start be honest to ourselves. Let's start, as I would say, live that life that is an example to our children. Let's not try to correlate. Let's not, if you have a problem, it does not mean that, if you're called out, the only recourse is to call out somebody else who may have had some other problem. Is that going to correct your problem? I don't think so. So if you're called out on something, let's make that pledge. If you're called out on something, first examine what you're called out on. If it's reality, you will know. There's no doubt about that. You're the first person, you're the most intimate person to whatever good you do and whatever bad you do. So you're the most intimate person to anything that you do. So if it's called on display, then you have the most insight into what this is all about. So let's not try to be evasive. Let's not try to be, think about what's in it. How do I feel about this? Let's try to be truthful. Let's try to let honesty reign, because unless you are truthful and honest to your deeds, there will be no corrections. Again, it's 2024, and we're getting older as time progresses. As the years go along, although that's just the measuring tool to see where we are, but if we're going to abide by these tools of measurement, then, and it's by the years, months, days, whatever, no matter what the unit is, we are getting older and older. So let that be a marker for us to say, have I accomplished? Have I been living? And I'm not talking about material accomplishment alone. I'm talking about other accomplishment, social accomplishment. I'm talking about moral accomplishment. Have we spiritual accomplishment? Have we made those what you call improvement in our lives so that these can be showcased for others to see? And though you do not have to deliberately showcase it, but people will see changes in you. People, if that are looking through the right set of eyes, I must say, they will see the difference in you. You cannot be satisfying to everybody. That's a no-no. So if that's what you're thinking, no. There are those who will dislike you from the start of things, just by the way your profile, just by the way you look, by the way you speak, by your accomplishment. You're denied in their social environment. So don't even think about that. Let that be no bother to you, because then that you will be loaded. You have to prevent yourself from being loaded. Nobody else can do it for you. So take your time. Know your audience. Look at those who are in your corner, so to speak. Those who want to see you do good. Those who are desirous of you being the good person that you want to be. And those who are willing and able to offer corrections, meaningful corrections, corrections that are valid, corrections that make sense, corrections that are not based on grudge and envy and jealousy and all those things. You have to look for that kind of audience, an audience that is favored, and is favored by truth, an audience that is favored by morality, an audience that is favored by goodness overall. So my friends, again, as we move along in this continuum, which is called time, it's a learning ground. And if we're not learning, then something is wrong. We have all the powers. It's our power to look back at the travel and determine if we had made the right choices, if we had done right in accordance with humanity. We have to look back at our deeds, not looking out there to see what somebody else is doing, because that's not important. Yes, may be important if it's affecting you, but at the same time, if you are doing things that are not in consistency with goodness, then we have to make that change. We have to make that change for ourselves. It starts from the inside out. And unless we recognize, unless we acknowledge and make those changes, we will be continuing along the same track as time moves along. And that's of no importance to life in general. How is that important? If you're going to live a life, if you're going to live, with this facade, because you want society to see you in this way, which you're not, then there is a problem, and you will always have a problem. Covering up does not work, no matter how you want to look at it. It's just for a time, and it only lives within a certain audience. So I'm not even going to say it's for a time. It's for, it comes out of the gate dead for some. It comes out of the gate dead for those who are looking through the eyes of truth. Because unless this can be validated, and that's unless this can be in, in sync with reality, then there's no proof in that. And if there is no proof and it does not pass that logical smell test, and no proof, no nothing, then it has to go somewhere. It has to go into the departure lounge, as they would call it. So let's give ourselves some, let's build ourselves this truth table. Let's build ourselves this honesty table. And if we do so and we use as our guide into our actions, I'm sure we'll realize that we are, less burdened along the way towards success. So again, 2024 is here for us. We are alive. The dream is there. We can make the dream reality. But unless we be truthful to ourselves first and then to others, there's no need to even think about making plans. So be good. One love and Jagai.